time because he's heard about it. Let's see how he reacts to how he feels.
Now holding the jab out. And
power punches. Once you do feel that power and you take it, that just...
Golovkin was the more assertive fighter.
He's powerful from both, and he's athletic. That's the main stance, absolutely.
To your point, Sergio, but imagine if you're a legit 160-pounder like
agile. Golovkin's trainer wants him to feint. That's very
landing, even if it's not damaging, it is.
And the power punching and the speed of Daniel Jacobs. They countered that right back to the middle of the ring. The last thing he wants is
he is not a moving target in there against Golovkin. But able to present a more
Gennady Golovkin. It's not that Golovkin is landing incredible.
They like what they're seeing. They told Jacobs, stay rhythmic. You don't have to run, but you can live and keeping Golovkin on his toes with those counters.
There he is. Judges might be looking at. Good body shot there.
He's brutish with that. Golovkin is a lot more.
Be fortunate if he could walk again. They told him he could. He, of course, once he came out of the defied those orders, got back into the gym, found his pride after the fight, emotional as he threw his job to the sport that he loves.
Seeing that the jab going upstairs and downstairs. I love seeing that from a challenger. And it's
Canelo Alvarez may be the lineal, and Daniel Jacobs with a chance of a lifetime. Good jab. We've had these discussions. Good right hand, and down goes Jacobs. Golovkin puts Jacobs down.
3, 4, 5.
Quickly. And a good jab right away. Sergio, as you said earlier, it is sometimes, you might not see it, but you feel it. Another right hand, as now Golovkin looks.
Mentioned the first time Daniel Jacobs feels that power of Golovkin. We'll see what he has. That was the first time he felt Gennady's power.
And an uppercut as well. 2 hard jabs from Golovkin.
Still clear-eyed. He's still in this fight. He knows that
level fighter here tonight, maybe the best in the world.
Yelling at his man, walk, and by that he means Golovkin's just going to be able to walk towards him with that power.
Jacobs keeping Golovkin at bay. The cut there by Golovkin, but Jacobs, despite being
in front of him, hands up, ready to counter.
Hook and a right hand from Golovkin. Jacob, let it come to you. Use the stick.
Well, I love the advice from Rozier, and they want him to walk stick up and down, and by that he means Jacobs to stab down to the bottom.
Barrage of scoring blows from Golovkin. The jab is sharp. Not around yet, Chris.
I gave him the 3rd round. As we saw against David Lemieux, that piston rod jab, that fight, Jacobs can't allow that punch consistently.
That wasn't the first time around.
Off slightly because Golovkin problems the later the fight goes.
Left hand there by Jacobs, lunging in there.
Good body shot and dig to the body. I mean, that's what he's been doing. This is a good round by Daniel Jacobs, in my opinion.
As we have fought 5 rounds here at the case. Again, you could make a case that many of these rounds are close. Chris Mannix, even as we talked about scoring the first 2 rounds their way.
Could, but I thought Golovkin was the far busier fighter early.
Even though he probably didn't win the card.
Jacobs able to land there and follow up with a left hand by Jacobs. Now Golovkin.
Orthodox and southpaw.
That's normally the case. You don't do either if you want to give your opponent a different look.
Switch back to right-handed, which he did right there. Good body shot. And a
monster, a champion like Golovkin, you're going to have to take some...
Brian, we're not seeing the same type of body work from Golovkin in this fight that we hunted in this fight.
And Golovkin coming off a good welterweight, decent at 150, putting up a very good fight. We have seen Golovkin dominate in this division.
Downstairs and control the tempo of the fight.
Factness of Andre Rozier between us.
And encouragement as well, even saying good job. And that was a good round 6 for Daniel Jacobs. He was effective there. Good body work there by...
You do love a good word from Sergio.
Yes, I do. How confident Jacobs is now. Look, he's fighting from that southpaw stand.
Well, that's something Golovkin has to respect. A little on our... Golovkin train is slow. Body work by Jacobs and are scoring blows. That's it. No ring.
He's having success. Golovkin's headhunting too much.
Jacobs acknowledges that after the bell, but a spirited round 7 and a good round.
To 3, 67-65 with the knockdown. Give Jacobs a ton of credit. He has closed the gap after.
In the southpaw stance and the orthodox stance, it's the tension in that last round also.
Golovkin has steamrolled through 154 pounds. tripling up on the jab now.
Enough to get those consistent jabs. He's getting an angle, jabs of his own, upstairs and downstairs, just like he did right there. Beautiful body work right there by Jacobs.
Scoring shots as we are now in round 8 here at Madison.
Control behind that jab.
Good right hand by Golovkin, able to block those body shots. 10-second here in round 8. As Golovkin looks to score, Jacobs is at the very least back in this fight. How do you have it on yours? 33 wins by knockout. We are used to seeing him. He steps back up, lands a right hand, because many times you don't even see them.
Maybe that's the reason that Jacobs is switching stance so much, because of Golovkin's pressure. He's forcing Jacobs to...
He's aware of the space.
That elbow to the back of the neck of Jacobs.
He said, because he heard the ow.
And if you notice, shots that have gotten close enough to land those uppercuts like he did right there.
Little giddy up at the step there from Golovkin. And here for the middleweight title. He's up with the jab. Chris Mannix had to score that.
With Andre Rozier again, he kind of gave it away, Daniel Jacobs did. Be wary of, in an effort to be more offensive oriented, Jacobs has dropped his hands a little bit with the puncher to land clean shots, and the kind of shots judges, it makes it easy.
Jacobs might have hurt something in there. You know when you land a good shot.
Shot to the body with the right hand. He is also trying more right uppercuts. He must see something. You see the way.
Cesar Chavez, you never know when they're hurt because they're so good. And has he invested enough to the body? Headhunting Golovkin did after that knockdown. So did he invest enough to the Jacobs go down before? So Golovkin is a top.
They come right off his shoulder. There's no load up.
Now Jacobs doesn't have to get reckless here. This is still...
I think a little bit more. There's a little bit more in the tank.
Up. They can do it themselves. They're not looking to clinch.
Danny Jacobs. He's still throwing. He's not moving as well.
So when they're getting close, the first one running a clinch. Good body shots there right there. See,
not be predictable in front of your man, even when you're in the 11th round. Good combination by Jacobs, able to...
He punches in those judge-friendly punches, and that's, in a close round, that's what matters. That's what stands out. This fight, in my opinion, is going to be difficult to score.
Rarely looks phased, but there's a straight right hand from Jacobs. Jacobs now. Golovkin lands with a straight right hand.
These are two champions fighting like champions in the championship.
Style from Golovkin, judges friendly. The rounds, although Golovkin perhaps gets a benefit of the doubt, being the established champ in this fight.
You're never going to have to question Danny Jacobs' heart or chin after going 12 rounds with a monster like Golovkin.
The Miracle Man.
Still undefeated and still the universally recognized middleweight champion of the world, Gennady Golovkin, a.k.a. Triple